Can you believe it? We finally have our first game out in London land. It's the return of Dalton versus Kirk. I feel really bad for London. Hello there, hunters and hikers. I'm your host, Hunter, and today we're going to be talking about the Sunday matchups as well as the Monday night matchup for the NFL season. We have a whole lot of games to get through and not a whole lot of time, so we might as well just get right into it, dive into each of the matchups, and enjoy. Sit back, relax. We're going to have some fun here. Let's start out with the first game of the weekend, or, well, Sunday day, I guess. The 9:30 a.m. morning matchup between the Minnesota Vikings at the New Orleans Saints, but they're not really at New Orleans. They're in London playing at, is it Wembley? Northumberland Development Project. What? What? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Tottenham Stadium. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, the fuck is the Northumberland Development Project? Anyway, this is going to be one of those really interesting. I mean, they have a good match. Like I can firmly say that. I think that having Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, who's healthy and should be playing in this game, going up against the New Orleans team that, while Winston might be hurt, it's still going to be a pretty good matchup. I think Dalton's going to do some bits. Olave is going to get some utilization. I know that Thomas is out, but maybe that'll allow Kamara to come into his element and actually do something in this matchup. I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. I think if I had to predict a winner, I would go with the Vikings just because they aren't as injured as the Saints are, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints win this game. I really wouldn't. Of course, after the Saints-Vikings matchup, we go into the 1 o'clock slate. The 1 o'clock slate's kind of weird here. There's some good matchups. There's one definitely good matchup, but I'm saving that for last because everybody knows which matchup that is, and that's going to be the awesome one to check out. But first up, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions. Both teams are 1-2. The Lions are without DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is going to be an interesting showing of how the Lions are still a competitive team moving forward. I think that Jamal Williams is still going to have a serviceable game. I think it's going to be hard for the Lions offense to do a whole lot, but this is a really bad Seattle team, so it could go either way. Aiden Hutchinson has been playing incredible football lately. Seattle, I think, is slowly starting to figure things out. I would also expect that they utilize the running game a fair bit, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some part of Seattle's wide receiving core to have a pretty good game here. If I had to pick a winner here, I would have to go with Seattle, just because they're not as injury riddled as the Lions, even though they are in Detroit. But I think that fan base is going to make it really difficult for Seattle to get anything going. It's going to be a tighter game than a lot of people would think. If the Lions were healthy, I would be picking the Lions here. There's no question in my mind. I don't think that. But without Amon-Ra and without DeAndre Swift, it's really hard for me to decide with the Lions here. So I think I'm just going to go with the Seahawks. Play it safe. While that Seattle-Detroit game is going on, we also have a wonderful shit-tacular in the form of the New Jersey Jets and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, God, what is there nice to say about both of these teams? Zach Wilson is back and healthy. What a shame he can't keep checking out hot moms in the stands. Well, maybe he can throw enough picks that he can keep watching the stands instead of actually playing football. Maybe the running back room will actually be able to do something. Maybe Garrett Wilson is the guy for Zach Wilson. Who knows? As for Pittsburgh, when is Matt Canada going to actually use an offense? When will Matt Canada actually figure out he has an offense? Is it really Mitchell's fault that the offense isn't working? I don't think so. Is it Kenny Pickett's to solve? I also don't think so, but I think that Matt Canada is just going to make it harder for Pickett to progress and not easier. And I don't really know why they're still sticking with Matt Canada, if I'm being dead honest. I hate that I have to pick a winner for this. I really hate that I have to pick a winner for this. I don't like Zach Wilson. I don't really love the Jets offense. Flacco played like shit in his last game, though, so they have like no backup option realistically. But Pittsburgh, their offense just doesn't work either. I think this is going to be a defensive shit show. I think this is going to be whose defense holds out for the win. I think the Steelers' defense is better. So, fuck it, give me the Steelers. I hate saying that, but fuck it, give me the Steelers. Next, we have another shit-tacular in the terrible variety. Try the Chicago Bears against the New York Giants. The Bears don't have a passing offense. So it's down to Khalil Herbert and Justin Fields. How far can they run against the Giants D-line? That's pretty decent, but not incredible. the Giants don't really have much of an offense outside of Saquon Barkley because the overpaid talent that is Kenny Golladay can't catch a ball. And when you've paid that much money for a wide receiver, he kind of needs to catch his passes. This is another one of those really shitty games I don't think anybody's going to enjoy or like, but give me the Giants because they've been finding ways to win games for some reason. I don't know how, but they have. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans going up against the Indianapolis Colts. I think this is either going to be a matchup of running backs where Derrick Henry and Taylor are going to be trading punches left, right, and center, or Pittman's going to pull away the Colts because they finally figured out how to throw to him more often or in more clinical situations, and that enables him to get high-scoring games. I don't know, maybe. That's what I would guess for this matchup, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Tennessee win this game off of the back of Derrick Henry. I don't like either of these teams to win this game. I really don't. But if I have to pick one, I guess I'd go with the Colts. I think I have to just picking a team to get the win here. And next up is a blowout. I can already say that. The Los Angeles Chargers against the Houston Texans. Look, Texans, you're still in a rebuild. I get that the Chargers haven't been playing incredibly well, but if this game is close, the Chargers should be upset or worried at the very least. Herbert's back. I don't know how you only threw to Mike Williams one time, considering he was one of the only receiving options you really had. But, you could throw to him a little more. That'd be nice. I would say Chargers to win this game. Just picking the Chargers. Just safe bet. Pick the Chargers. Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I actually do like Jacoby Brissett. I think that he's been playing pretty well as of late. I think the Browns have been playing pretty well as of late. And they're going up against a relatively easy-ish Falcons team. The Falcons just really haven't found a way to win. Really? Like, they have a win. But that was against the Seahawks. That's not a big win. I don't know. I think the Browns find a way to win this game, which is huge for them. It gives them a really good playoff push and good momentum going into the meat and potatoes of the season. But I just don't see the Falcons winning this game. There's just something about it. I just don't see them winning it. Sorry. While those games are going on, we have a wonderful, shitty divisional matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Cooper Rush has been playing incredible football as of late. The Commanders have just recently figured out that they have an elite-level wide receiver in Terry McLaurin, and Dallas is just going to Dallas their way to a win, I think. The Commanders have just kind of rolled over and died for Dallas in consecutive seasons. I don't expect shit to change here because they're still lacking in key areas. I think that's going to bite them in the ass severely. So give me the Cowboys to win this game. And now we get to the one interesting matchup, like really interesting matchup, and the one really, really good matchup of the 1 p.m. slate. So let's go with the interesting one first. The interesting one is the Jacksonville Jaguars up against the Philadelphia Eagles. What a weird game to be saying that both of these teams are competitive and fighting for a playoff spot right now, in my opinion. Both of these teams are. That's insane to say. Maybe not for the Eagles, but I wasn't expecting to say that for the Jaguars. So good on Jacksonville already for proving me wrong. Fair dues. I'm sorry. Now, does that mean that they're going to win against these Eagles? Fuck no. No fucking chance. Jalen Hurts has been playing incredible football lately. That receiving core is immaculate. The fucking run game has been solid enough. The defense has been there when they need them to be. It's going to be interesting to see how Lawrence's progression is going, especially under a coach like Doug Peterson, who gets the most out of his quarterbacks. There's no question about that. But I don't think him and Christian Kirk can do enough and James Robinson as well, to get past these Eagles. I just don't. I'm sorry. So give me the Eagles. Stay undefeated, Philly. Good for you. And now we get to the good one. The one that you've all been waiting for me to talk about. The 1 p.m. slugfest, let's be honest. Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I think this is going to be the best game of Sunday. Period. Full stop. Josh Allen has been throwing the ball like a madman. Lamar Jackson has been having an MVP caliber year. The Bills' defense is really good. The Ravens' defense is not that good. I don't think that means that the Bills automatically win this game, though, because Lamar's Lamar, and Lamar will find a way to break down any defense. And the Bills are good, but they are still lacking components of that defense. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being a shootout going into overtime. I mean that in all legitimate honesty. And this game could be a 50-plus point game, just because Allen's going to be slinging the ball past that secondary, and the Baltimore Ravens are going to have Lamar to just run circles around that Bills defense, and they're going to wear him out. If I had to pick a winner, though, give me Buffalo. Give me Buffalo because they've proven that they can keep a pass game going for the whole game, and I think that's where they'll win. They'll win in the over-powerful pass game, just flat out. After the 1 o'clock slate, of course, we have the 4 p.m. games. There's only 3 of them this week, but that's because we had a game in London, so I kind of understand why there's more missing from this 4 o'clock slate. The first of the 4 o'clock slate starts off at 4:05 when the Cardinals take on the Panthers. This is just going to be one of those weird games where I think this is a game where McCaffrey's just going to be pushed to his limits, and he's not going to be able to do anything. Kyler's going to ball out, have a good game, get the Cardinals another win before they get back DeAndre Hopkins. That's just one of those really confusing games where I could see a world where the Panthers win this game, but I think this game just belongs to the Cardinals flat out. So give me the Cardinals to win this one. After that, we have 2 4:25 games. We'll start off with the less interesting of the two, in my opinion. Broncos Raiders. Nathaniel Hackett's a really bad coach, but Josh McDaniels is just as bad, if not worse. So that opens the door to a lot of question marks, especially when you take into consideration the fact that Denver's offense hasn't really been spectacular. They've gotten better. Like, that was a big thing from week 2 to week 3 that I noticed, was like, hey, their defense was a little bit more competent. Not incredibly, but a little bit more. Is that enough to beat the Raiders, who are desperately looking for a win? I don't know, but the Broncos' defense is solid. That much is certain. I don't think the Raiders are going to struggle to score here, but I also don't really know why people keep believing that Josh McDaniels is some revolutionary offensive genius. I hate I have to pick a winner for this, but just give me the Raiders. I have nothing else to say. Just give me the Raiders. I don't want to give the win to Denver because Hackett doesn't deserve it. And then the more interesting game, in my opinion, is the Patriots against the Packers. Now, I know that the Patriots don't have Mac Jones. They're going to throw out either Brian Hoyer or Bailey Zappi. But the Packers don't have a receiving core. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. My guess is I would expect Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon to have a field day against this Patriots defense that has kind of been a little questionable, especially when there's a 2 running back tandem like that. I don't see a world where the Patriots win this game while lacking at QB. Give me the Packers. Just flat out give me the Packers. Next up, we have the 8:20 p.m. game, which is a new showing, I guess, of that former Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, this is one of those weird situations where I like the Bucs because their defense is really good, but Kansas City has a lot of playmakers and they have a lot of capabilities to score. I don't want to say this is going to be a shootout because Tampa Bay has been lacking in the receiving core, and Fournette was supposed to be a scoring guy, and he hasn't been a scoring guy at all. If I had to pick a team, I guess I would pick the Chiefs just because they don't have as much of a problem in their offense as Tampa Bay does, but I don't count Brady out of any game. Like, you cannot count Brady out of any game. I'm just going to go with the Chiefs. I have to go with the Chiefs. And last but not least, we have the Monday night game where we have the LA Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. I don't really know how to feel about this game because I thought, the Rams have this in the bag easily. You know, Jimmy G looked terrible against Denver. You know, and the Rams haven't been doing all that well either. I mean, they're 2-1, but they haven't been playing incredibly well offensively. I would expect them to win this game, though. I just flat out, I think that after that loss to the Bills, it kind of like rewired this Rams team, and I think they're going to come out here and beat the San Francisco team to prove that they're still a legitimate team, of course. So yeah, give me the Rams here. Just give me the Rams here. And with that, we wrap out week 4 of the NFL season. I will be back in a couple days to look over what happened in week 4 and talk through some of the interesting components and pieces of it. But as always, I am your host, Hunter. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Remember, be good people. Peace.